Well, hello and welcome back. Today we have a really interesting question. Today's question is, why did I start the drawing channel? And what was the purpose of it? Well, the purpose of it was a couple of things. One, and the main point, was to wake up every day and be better. Every day to challenge yourself and be better. That was the main purpose of it. The second was that by doing this channel, it has documented my progress, the whole process of what I'm doing. So it's been an extremely interesting process. The whole journey has been incredible. But the main purpose was to wake up every day and be better. I hope that helps. Today's word is the skull. So, let's go and draw a skull. You ready? Get your paper, your pens, your pens, your paint, whatever you need, and come and draw with me and Mr. Miro. Okay, beautiful people, we are back into doing some drawing, and today's word is the skull. I set up on one of the internet drawing channels, Draw Every Day. I'm just following that at the moment, just to give me something different, something inspirational, something challenging. Something to take my mind off all the writing at the moment on the new book. Can you see it? Worry Lips. Sporting my gorgeous t-shirt that you can purchase on the shop. Right, let's start the TikTok speedy version. Right, so for all my Funki Doodler friends out there, the basics of a skull is a circle with some teeth and two black dots. But this is where your creativity comes into it. This is where you can kind of maybe paint up something very, very different. You can do something strange and wonderful. Let's start off with something strange and wonderful. We're going to need some kind of a circle, aren't we? So there we go. Let's start off with that. Why? Just to get something moody and imaginative. Breaks up the monotony of your drawing and your style. In fact, I might even just take a little bit more because I really want to get some of those kind of big. Try and get something special with the eyes. Lovely. That already sets it off. It already sets off the dynamic that I'm playing with something very unusual there. I'm playing with some unusual shapes. And that is always something very, 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 very lovely, because it starts your mind in a creative flow. Now, something like with the skull. The skull is a very beautiful, simple structure, and you can have a lot of fun with it. And what instantly springs to mind is some of those. Every year they have this kind of is it a Latin American festival where they have the Day of the Dead. And they put all the beautiful colours and vine and flowers and such around to make the mask look so exciting and so beautiful. And I looked into a lot of that when I was researching for the Worry Lips book, because the Worry Lips is actually about Norman, and he goes into this world of ghosts and demons. And that was a really lovely period of time of kind of like trying to see other countries' visions of death and demons and ghosts and whatever, you know. And everybody has a different approach to it. And in fact, I'm really inspired already just by thinking about that Day of the Dead, that I might actually just venture in there and turn my skull eyes into some kind of flower. But as if you're drawing with me, just draw whatever you feel, whatever comes into your mind, whatever. And I think the Day of the Dead has become a very, very, very beautiful and very imaginative festival. Very creative art-wise. The nib seems a bit wobbly. Oh, let's give it a push. So I'll do the same on the other eye. And if you haven't seen the kind of Day of the Dead festival, I would highly recommend going and researching some of their elaborate works of art, painting their faces and such. Fantastic. Right, I've done my skull shape. And I don't really want my skull to be scary in any way, so I'm going to put a smile on it. And thank you for all the donations. Thank you for all of the comments and questions. I love all of you. You are all absolutely incredible. You don't know how much your comments and your donations really make me feel so incredible. And it really is highly, highly, highly appreciated. And it does, because I don't do any advertising or anything, it does add a lot to this channel. It does keep this channel kind of ticking along. Right, I'm going to... Okay, alright, I've got an idea. Okay, I've got... Alright, I'm going to do something slightly different with my skull. The brains are starting to go chickity chickity chick chick chick. Okay, that's got you thinking, isn't it? Huh? What is he up to? What is this crazy guy doing? Well, it's kind of got me thinking a little bit about, obviously the Day of the Dead and but also a little bit about how animals might treat their dead, how they react, how they must feel. So I'm going to do an imaginary skull, just to kind of add a little bit of a twist to the story, add a little bit of a twist to the illustration. I'm not going to tell you, but I'm going to let you kind of guess it out. Let's see if you can guess it. And if you do guess it, do tell me at what point in the video you guessed what is happening with this crazy drawing from this crazy fellow. Death is a very strange subject anyway. And as my story for Worry Lips, there he is, Norman. You will notice that at one point in my life I also went through the dying process. In my ill days, and saved by an amazing doctor. Absolutely amazing. Doctors can be quite amazing at what they do. The way they, not so much on medicine. I'm not so impressed with medicines, and medicines are very, very kind of manipulated by money and such. I'm not really impressed with that. I've actually been watching a lot of kind of like alternative medicines and stuff like that recently, as we all go through our different ways of thinking and understanding. I'm going to do it. Lovely, gorgeous line there. And it is a beautiful day in the south of England today. It is a lovely sunny day, and we have not seen much of the sun. It has been a rather drab and miserable winter. So the tiny little flick of sunshine is just amazing. Oh, my lip is falling out. Don't fall out, neighbor. Some of the pleasures, and I like that one, so I don't want to give it up. I don't want to put it on the side. I feel like we're working like on a level today, me and this pink pen. This was one of the pens my daughter bought me. So it also has a very special feeling to it. Have you guessed yet? Have you guessed? Of course you have. Today is the skull. The skull of an elephant. And don't write and tell me that elephant skulls don't look like that with some kind of frizzy kind of afro hair and big flowery paintings on it, and they don't have bones in their trunk. But in my elephant they do. In my elephant they do. In my elephant they have. In my elephant, of course they have. I'm in a real splashy, messy mood today. I don't know what's driving through there. Now I'm still going to keep going with this idea of the Festival of Death. I think I'm going to give it some beads. So the elephant is dancing with some beads and necklaces and stuff like that, you know. The beauty of hand-drawn art. I mean, it's just, you know, I love flicking through the internet and seeing what people have done. And there was a lot of debate about the AI, and it just leaves me a little bit cold, to be honest, you know. I love to see the human nature in its imagination. Let's put in another little skull there, just a little tiny human skull, just for... like on a set of beads of sorts, you know. And this is what's beautiful about it. You can just kind of feel the, you know, part of the whole kind of dislike for it is that it takes away from that personal journey, that personal experience. At the moment, I'm having so much fun just drawing down whatever comes into my mind, and it relaxes me in a way, you know. It makes me want to do more. It makes me love it so much. The kind of joy of getting out and doing sport in the same way. It's kind of like the more that you get out and you do sport, the more you want to do sport, you know. And in the same way that you challenge yourself, that if you're going out for a run in the morning, you know, maybe you run 100 meters, and then you run 200 meters, and then you run half a mile, and then you run a mile, then you're running 4 miles, you know. This whole kind of beauty within you that grows. And that's why this channel was set up, for me to be better, for me to break away from what I know, break away from years of working in animation studios and being very tied down to everything, very exacting with everything, and to loosen up my mind and my way of drawing to a point where it's loose and fresh and exciting. And that's really what what the channel was. I mean, somebody asked me, which is what the answer on today's question was about why do a channel. Well, I didn't really mean for it to grow and be as important in my life as it has become, but you know, it was kind of like people saying, "Oh, I love watching people draw videos," and I was like, you know, really? And I kind of videoed myself and did it as people were kind of saying, you should post up your videos, you should post up you drawing. And I've watched a few of my videos and thinking, do I draw like that, really? And it's kind of a little bit of an eye-opener when you actually do sit down and watch how you draw. It's quite astonishing, really. The elephant is dancing here. And I also found that over time, this channel has become a kind of portfolio of a way. Not so much of my illustrations, but about my drawing process and my thinking process. And my life too. There's been a lot of life events that have happened. You've actually seen me go through writing books and deaths of people that I have loved, and such, you know. You've seen me go through great times and horrible times. You've seen me go through angry moments. You've seen me going through lots and lots of different things. And that's part of the beauty of this kind of new digital age, this new video age where everybody videos, almost like journaling in a way, you know. And in a way it kind of documents in a journaling type way that of what has happened in your life, what you have been going through. And it's really important, you know. Even to the point of kind of losing, you know, I lost a couple of friends over this period of friends dying and such, and it's been really difficult. And I've found drawing has helped. In fact, drawing has helped with almost everything. In fact, one of the videos I was like the long-legged man or something, and it was like an angel with long legs, and that was for one of my friends who had died, and that was a very, 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 very difficult drawing to do because I almost felt like I was holding back tears as I did it. It was very difficult, but at the same time I'm very happy, almost like I drew it almost as a dedication for him, which was lovely. There's something really, really beautiful about that. Again, I'm just going to suck up that ink that has got a bit too bulging. Sometimes the ink, when you splash it, it kind of makes little pools, and the pools, in that case, like this one here is okay, it's not too bad. But the bigger ones get so big that sometimes they just run down because my table is at an angle. And it can get quite nerve-wracking. I'm just debating there whether I should do some kind of... Well, you know, I was debating it. My first brain is debating it. My second brain is just like, do it. Do it. Oh, you've done it. Oh, well, get on with it. That's my second brain, you know. I've already drawn the line. It's like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, second brain. Yeah, I love you too. Thank you very much. Yeah, okay, yeah. You know, I love that about the way your mind works. It's just like, you know, it's like having two children in my mind. It's like they just kind of debate everything. I can't believe that. There's me sitting there going, I don't know if I should do... And my brain is just drawing. Oh, silly, silly, silly man, silly man, silly man. Yes. Oh, I guess there's a spark of madness in there as well. Not the band Madness, but I guess kind of living on your own and drawing every day and talking to some kind of camera. It can kind of make you go a little bit doolally. Did anybody remember the band Madness? Do you remember that English band called Madness? Madness, Madness, they call it Madness. What a fabulous band. I remember my brother used to play a lot of Madness at one point as he was going through his different different fashions of being a skinhead, from being a mod, from being a rocker, from being a, you know, as they did in those days. And he had gone through this two-tone music, which was, wow, if you have not heard two-tone music, was one of the most incredible, probably the first time I ever saw kind of black and white people just having fun together, you know. No kind of religion arguments, no kind of debates about anything. It was just like, hey man, you want to play this music? So yeah, cool. And they just got on with it. Like The Beat. I remember a band called The Beat with Rankin Roger, who I think died this year, I believe. And Madness were part of this two-tone. Oh, I got ink all over my lip. This kind of two-tone period of time. It was just like, you know, people were just out to dance. And I remember all these crazy kind of side-to-side dances and stuff. Suggs was the singer for Madness back in those days, and they had a fantastic saxophone player in them, as did The Beat. The Beat, I remember, had a pretty incredible saxophone player. And again, it's not really one of the instruments that I would put high up on my list of listening to, but when it's put into two-tone and all of that, it's really quite incredible. With Rankin Roger and... There's my dancing elephant. So, if you're drawing today, I hope you're drawing something fun with your skull. Hope you're having fun with this idea. I do think it's a lovely. It's a lovely simple word that you can really elaborate with. You know, it's like a skull is quite a simple thing to draw, and you can really go to town with it. Beads around the feet. Maybe even like a little bell. Oh, I was watching a small documentary about bells the other day. And bells used to be used long time ago with churches and such like that for healing. I was really amazed to watch it. You should go on and find out a little bit about that. I was like, bells were used. People used to say that they were to call people, but they were used in healing. And the vibrations of a bell would send out a kind of like a relaxing vibration and a healing vibrations. And I was amazed by this documentary. It was absolutely stunning. So I put a little bell on there to keep her in a healing mood. Alright, not much space to put my name today, is there? Silly boy. You and your dancing elephant. Dear, stop breaking nibs, mister. I changed the whole stack of nibs the other day. It was like, only to go ahead and break them 10 minutes later. So if you haven't subscribed and you do enjoy my strange drawing mornings, if you do enjoy them, please subscribe. It really does mean a lot to see the numbers growing, and we're over 2,000 people at the moment, and that's just incredible. You think about things like that as a visual thing. 2,000 people in front of you. It's almost like a football crowd or a concert. It really is mind blowing to think 2,000 people have subscribed. And that, I think, like last month was like 28,000 people watched. I'm still not making any money out of this channel, but it is lovely to know that 18,000 people have tuned in to watch. 28,000 people decided to watch me draw a dancing skull elephant. How amazing is that? It really is really, really beautiful. I love you people, really. I do. I mean, for you to take that time to sit and watch these drawings is beautiful. And it also means that there is a love there. There's a love for art and hand-drawn art. And I am getting to the point of starting to put together a little bit more for the shop. I know that people have been requesting stuff, so I'm trying desperate, as it's only me that does the, I do the performing, I do the drawing, I do the editing. So it does get a little bit of kind of run out of time more than anything. It's like I do run out of time, and I do have a dog to walk, and he doesn't like it if he doesn't get walked. He will be very angry if he doesn't get his walk. So I need to be good to him too. Besides, he's my conversation. He's my sanity. My dog is my sanity. You have it. You have it from the horse's mouth. My dog is my sanity. I'm really quite pleased with that. And the word today was skull. Wonderful. Really. And I will get to frame it in a minute. I want to just add a little bit of grey in there, just to kind of. Very difficult to see what is dried and what isn't. Be nice to get a little bit of. Better not do that just yet. Lovely. A bit of shading on that trunk. Come up beautiful. I'm really pleased with that. And I hope you've enjoyed drawing your subject of the skull. It's nice to have a simple word sometimes, Avocado was yesterday. I drew avocado yesterday. Again, a nice simple word, and that simple word does relax your mind a little bit. That's why I do think that some of these drawing groups are fabulous, because they do kind of get you into an environment of easing your mind. It kind of takes away a lot of the seriousness of things. You know, sometimes people can get so kind of caught up in all of the being so perfect. Everybody wants to be perfect. Everybody wants to be amazing. And that's another thing with AI. It does kind of build this stress level of people. You know, it's kind of like everybody wants to be perfect. Why do you want to be perfect? Be different. Be different. Go and draw what you want to draw. And if your drawings don't look like my drawings, wonderful. If your drawings don't look like Rembrandt's, wonderful. If your drawings don't look like anybody else's, incredibly amazing. I love you. Get out there and draw for you. Get out there and draw what you want to see in this world. You know, one of the beautiful things about art is being able to do that. Being able to express you. Express your thoughts. Express your feelings. Isn't that just magical? Lovely. Again, I just wanted to change the color of those. So. Just get a lighter color. Where's my brush gone? Where's my brush? I'm going to venture in to do a little bit of colors. People have been asking about color. Oh, it's a nice big brush. Look at that big chunky brush. And it's got a name on it there for all you technical people. Oh, it's a Chinese brush. For you people that can read Chinese. Oh, it's an orange. It looks darker in the on the actual pot than it does once you put it down. Lovely, lovely, lovely. What wonderful color. Wonderful. Let's get some of that down there. Fantastic. Oh, I do like that. I do like that. Let's get some of that up there. It also brings out some of the beauty of that skull color being white. And it's nice to put in a color around it just to kind of bring it to life a little bit. Been using a lot of yellows and oranges this week. Not deliberately. It's just seems to be whatever's there in front of me. Whatever's just there, I seem to use. And that is it's a nice, free and easy way to work. It's just kind of that I'm not thinking too deeply about everything around me, that I'm not kind of getting into this kind of... I saw a lovely green there the other day. Where's that green gone? What was that? Yellow. And it's very, very... There's a nice light blue there. Let's get into some of that. Very nice. Something very nice about that. Lovely, 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 lovely colour. Fantastic colour. Just top that off there. That is absolutely beautiful colour. Fantastic. And it just kind of gives you that lovely, vibrant, lively feeling about what's going on. Beautiful. Very nice colour. I should keep an eye on you, Mr. Blue. I'm not really a fan of blues, but there is a couple of blues that are so vibrant, that just kind of they just kind of explode when you put them down. And again, a nice red there. It was like, wow, look at that. And you notice that I'm using a very large brush here, and that's again to kind of, in the same way that I used to get that with a lot of the oil painting. A lot of the oil painters will use very large brushes and stay away from those tiny little skinny things. And I do very much appreciate that learning. That has really kind of educated my mind into the realms of colour and such. The way that they put big brushes and big brush marks. Stay away from all the little details, because it makes your mind think different. It makes you think in a much more tonal way. Now that really has come across so lovely. I might actually put a little bit more grey down there just to give that ground a little bit more weight. Tuck it in underneath my name. And there today is this fabulous feeling of the skull. And I'm very, very happy with that. Very, very, very happy with it. Very happy with the way that it's turned out. Soften that down. Wonderful. Really, really pleased with that. And I'm going to do a nice kind of framing for this. Stay away from the colour so that it doesn't bleed like it's just done up there, which I didn't want it to do. It's okay if it bleeds on with the grey, because the grey and the black are brothers tonally, whereas we don't really want to bring black and red into a clash. Beautiful, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Wonderful. Oh, is that a beautiful skull? Is it? Tell me what you think. I want to hear. I want your thoughts. I want you to tell me how you feel when you're looking at this drawing. Today's drawing was the skull, and we drew an elephant skull. And to bring that positivity into it, we did our dancing and we did our having fun and enjoying life, as we all should. And again, I'm just going to touch up that necklace with a little bit of zing, a little bit of colour, a little bit of brightness. Fantastic. And that, my dear friends, is today's drawing, the skull. And I would love your comments. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to know what you think. For me, I'm very, very happy. I think it feels lovely to put it down. It just is a nice release. And I'm very happy that the word skull has been a positive drawing. So, thank you very much for being here. And I will see you again very soon. Maybe tomorrow. If you subscribe. Thank you. See you later on. Thank you. Bye-bye.